Shane O'Donnell, big county final coming up for a Rogue. I've no doubt you're eagerly awaiting, looking forward to it.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. Brilliant to be in the situation, and I think the last couple of years we would have given anything to be where we are. So it's nice to finally get the opportunity.
Yeah, you've been knocking the door now for a while over the last maybe 2 or 3 years, maybe a little more. You know, you've got to quarterfinals, semi-finals. Maybe 2 years ago, you were very close to getting to that county final. So, like, the day has come now.
Yeah, exactly. Last two times now we're in the semis. We were,
Yeah.
thereabouts, like a point or two in the difference, and we're extraordinarily disappointed when that didn't happen. Obviously, so
Yeah.
the last day when we felt like maybe it was slipping away from us and that was happening again, it was reminiscent of what we were experiencing a couple of years ago. But yeah, thankfully managed to turn around, and yeah, really looking forward to a couple of weeks time.
Yeah, the last two teams you beat, 6 Mile Bridge there at last Sunday, beat Aina Kilnamona in the previous match. Aina Kilnamona was probably a revenge mission for the quarter final last year. I won't say a revenge mission, but that would have been on your mind to get one back on Aina Kilnamona. And you did it, you put down a marker that day, like a real statement of intent, and you got over that. I asked you just about that game. You were playing full forward. You seem to have got a lot of room. Were you surprised at the amount of room that you were afforded that day?
I think a lot of it was the way we had actually set up. We had obviously planned to exploit that, and
Yeah.
there's been a lot of effort, I think, on our behalf to try and make that space, and obviously make the space out the field as well, and to get our game working. I would say that our full forward line playing well tends to be indicative of a well functioning team out the pitch from both from a tactical perspective, but also when lads are working hard, balls are being won, and especially like rook balls and things like that, when they're being won, it makes the job full forward members look very good. But it's a lot of time that work is done on the pitch.
Yeah. The 6 Mile Bridge game then, it's a county semi final, it's a big game. So, you're full forward. At the beginning, I saw the two corner forwards, and because I didn't even notice it the first time, the Yannick in the morning game, but they moved out. Cameron Murray sort of fell back a bit, like, so you were going to have company, like, but you exploited it early enough again. Then you had 3 points on the board fairly quickly.
Yeah, I got a couple of scores, but I think there was ball just kind of knocking around. I definitely think I was fortunate enough for a couple of them. One of them was a free that went short, actually just hit my body like in front of the goal, so managed to put it over. And then the next couple were just the ball kind of bouncing around 45 yards out, and I think just happened to be in the right place. And then and then the game kind of changed a small bit. I think we were on top early in the first half, and just kind of shifted a small bit. We found it a little bit more difficult for a lot of the rest of the game, really.
Yeah, you moved out of full forward, you moved out to the corner, you took on a man that had loads of time, and you took him on, took the ball off him, and you were fouled again. It's just for a free again. Like, that was extraordinary work. Your work rate is you're the scorer in chief, like, but then you can pop up back in the half back line. So you're asked to do an awful lot of work, I suppose, for the team.
I think, to be honest, every person on the team has to do a lot of work. I don't think Matty or any of the management team expect anything less of any of the players that go out there. And I think, myself, Reedy, and a lot of lads come back from Clare feel that pressure maybe to be those people who are leading the way when it comes to work rate and all other things. But work rate is really where I think we often set ourselves apart. We're often not the most amazing hurling team, but we do work hard, and I feel like we can grind games out when required.
Yeah. Full forward is your position. I think it's your best position. Would you agree with that one? Is it a place you like to play? You just seem to blossom in there.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
No, you had a great year into a Clare out further out the field, like, earlier on the year, like, so.
Yeah, it's hard to know. I think it depends on the game. It depends on the kind of game that your team is playing, and it depends on the game that the opposition is playing as well. But both are good, to be honest.
When you're inside the full forward line and in the second half, then you probably needed. They met him, and the lads made a big call, and they put David in beside you. I mean, you must be delighted to see a fella like that coming in alongside.
Yeah, well, he had an unbelievable game, and he did unbelievable damage, to be fair, especially in the second half. He just, every ball that went into him, and we needed every point. Obviously, when a game ends in a draw, you need every point that came preceded that. So every score he got was absolutely vital, and he was obviously the reason we won the game in the end. So, but to have a caliber player like Reedy to come back in and to be able to support you and to take over the reins really at the top of the line was much needed from a team's perspective, and obviously turned the game for us.
Yeah. The game turned against you and you needed something late on, and you were the man to produce that. You were the man at the end of it, like, and it was a great catch and delivery to you. But what are you thinking? You know, are you saying to yourself, "I have to get a goal"? Or what's the thinking in the last minute of a game like that?
Yeah, I think the general consensus was that we needed a goal.
Yeah,
I think the Bridge had got a couple of points just before that as well, and we had lost a couple of puckouts. And when we were grouping for that, a couple of us were saying, "Yeah, we're going to need a goal, but we'll get a chance," basically. So to be fair, we actually had a couple of chances in that one passage of play, and then yeah, Keane had a great catch. He did a square, and
yeah,
just what am I thinking? Not thinking very much, to be honest. Like the ball came to me, and I just hit it, and that was about all I was.
and that was it. And a huge sigh of relief from the Rogue supporters. And in extra time, I mean, David was on fire next time. You all were. You scored as well, and you know, but you really put the Bridge away there next time. Then
Yeah, I think some extra time can be funny. Like we experienced it playing Limerick earlier in the year. This year, like put everything into getting to the end of the game. You just managed to draw it, and then you just come out and you're a bit flat for whatever reason. And I think maybe the Bridge just experienced the other side of that on Sunday. It's hard to know. Extra time's a bit, and it's all about momentum as well. Like we just kind of got on top at the start of the extra time and really just didn't let go. And you're not really going to bridge 4 or 5 points in extra time when the rain is pouring like it was on Sunday. So
yeah. Shane, you were born not too far from here. I presume you spent most of your life here when you weren't in St. Leonard's College or up in the national school. So this is your club. Like, what does it mean to you to be in this county final? We haven't been in the county final. Rogue haven't been in the county final since 1990s, if my memory serves me right.
I think I could be correct now, but I think it's 2001 maybe. I think we were in a county final. We haven't won one since
maybe,
1990. Yeah. But anyway, regardless of points,
My research team aren't doing too well this week.
We're taking a break after a tough night Sunday. Yeah, it means a huge amount. Yeah, of course. Like when my age group growing up at the club, like it was not particularly good. We didn't win anything at A. We were rarely even in Division A, and a lot of the time the management would have, when we lost tough games, would have just said, you know, underage is all building towards senior, and then when you get to senior and you realise how difficult it can be and how hard it is to get past quarterfinals and semi-finals. So to get that bite of the cherry and get that opportunity is, it's huge. I think every player would tell you the same thing.
Yeah, the greatest day of your life, I would imagine, was in your sporting life would be the day you scored 3-3 in an All-Ireland final. An unbelievable performance that day. How will this mark up against that achievement?
Well, nothing is achieved yet, so it doesn't mark up yet, I don't think. But I'd be very close to Patch Collins, and he would have marked his 2014, I think it was, maybe it was 2013, even club championships up at the same level as winning with Clare that year. So if we get that opportunity, if we are fortunate enough, maybe then I'll be able to answer that question. But until then, definitely won't be taking my eye off Sunday to the week.
When you line out against Ballyea, you're going to know every one of them, but you'll know 2 or 3 of them that you're against county teammates. So you know it's what's your feelings about Ballyea?
Yeah, well, Ballyea are champions the last few years, and they're obviously going to be favourites. They're a fairly exceptional team, and I think they fairly dismantled Cratloe in the end of it, and this other side of the semi-final. So yeah, it's going to be a difficult game. There's some exceptional players as well, and they play very well together. They're big, physical, and strong. And this is now the end of October is when this game will be, so that also makes a huge difference. So yeah, we're up against it. It's our first county final in a long time, and they're putting them every week or every year or every 2 years. They're thereabouts. So yeah, look, we're just going to have to focus on ourselves a small bit. Just focus on keeping the camp in line and making sure that we know what we have to do when we go out Sunday week.
We go to Sunday week, yeah. It's a hugely anticipated county final. Everyone is really looking forward to it. I noticed the crowds are coming back to matches now as well, to club games. There was a big crowd in Ennis on Sunday. There was a big crowd down in Clarecastle for the intermediate. So the real interest there now, like, you know, we didn't know how this club thing was going to work out because of, you know, the All-Ireland have been played so early, like, so. But it really seems to be catching on now. The people are coming. And, you know, I'm not going to say it just because you're standing in front of me, but I think anyone would pay any money just to see Tony Kelly, Shane O'Donnell, David Reedy, Jack